Welcome back to the water cooler, everybody. Look, we had her on the program, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. It's just so informative, really good. Had to have her back on. Kylie Kremer, Executive Director of Women for America First, back on the show to talk, well, my goodness, Trump, election voter fraud in Georgia and all that. So Kylie, great to see you again.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, thanks for being here. Why don't we begin? I want to get to Georgia in a moment, but tell me a little bit about what's coming next, because I know you there at Women for America First, you've got some plans, especially with this bus tour. I want to hear a little bit more about that.
Yes, so we were so grateful to have such a tremendous outpouring of people show up in DC last Saturday for the March for Trump event here. And the momentum was just building and people were so excited. We announced that we were doing the next March for Trump December 12th here in Washington, D.C., starting at Freedom Plaza, marching to Capitol Hill. And the reason that we decided that was because that's where the electoral delegation will be meeting on December 14th. And the momentum and people coming from all across the country is still building. So we decided that we were going to do a bus tour, the March for Trump bus tour. So we will be kicking that off in South Florida, November 29th, and we'll over through Ohio, Pennsylvania, back down and end up in DC on December 12th for the big event. And we could not be more excited. We've partnered with Mike Lindell and My Pillow, and also each event will be broadcast on Right Side Broadcasting everywhere that we hold an event. So we're truly excited. And, we hope that we have a whole caravan. People have already been reaching out that they're going to have their own buses that are going to be following us, just full of people from event to event, leading up to the big event here in DC, and we could not be more excited about it.
Kylie, let me ask you what the purpose of all of this will be, because it started with count the legal votes. I see behind you audit the vote. And now we're kind of moving into potentially a constitutional challenge here as it relates to state legislatures and what they may do here as it relates to the Electoral College and the actual electors being chosen. So what do you want that bus tour to accomplish ultimately here?
Well, listen, we believe that this is probably going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. That's why last weekend we marched to the Supreme Court. So we're going to let the legal process take its course. And, the wheels of justice sometimes turn slowly. But the people want to be out and to be having their voices heard, that they do stand with the president and that they want their legal votes counted. So we are mobilizing them to be calling and putting on pressure on their state legislators, what's going on in Georgia and in Michigan. I mean, we're in very uncharted territory here and people are very fed up. And so what we want to do is give them an opportunity to be a part of something and to have momentum leading into this big event, that we're not backing down. We're not going away. They cannot ignore us. They can threaten people, dox people, whatever they want to do to make the election go their way. But we're stronger standing together. And just like we saw last weekend, we had a tremendous effect where they cannot, back down. Our people will not back down. So that's really what we're looking forward to, is just having everybody have a voice. I think that people are also missing the president's rallies. And we also just want the president to know that we are still here, because I'm sure he's downtrodden. Look, last weekend, he did a little drive-by around Freedom Plaza, and you should have seen the smile on his face. He was so excited, and I'm sure that's because he feels like the entire world is against him, and that's just not the case. And so we're standing loud, and we're out here, and we'll be carrying that voice all the way to Washington, D.C. through some of these battleground states.
Kylie, when Donald Trump became president, there was a huge movement out there, #NotMyPresident. I wonder if Joe Biden does end up becoming president, if there's not going to be half the country that feels exactly the same way.
Well, listen, he's still not President-elect Joe Biden, so I don't even know how we get to the point where he is president, because we haven't even said that he's won the Electoral College yet. So I just think that we just need to wait and let the legal process work itself out. I have every faith in Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani and Lynn Wood. I don't think that they would put their careers on the line to say that they have evidence to back up corruption and voter fraud if they did not have it. So we're just going to have to let the puzzle, let it all fall how it will and see where we end up. But I don't even want to think about President Biden, because I think that that's a little hard for anybody to swallow right now.
Yeah, so just on the Sidney Powell situation and Dominion voting systems and all that, you're saying that you believe that that is somehow, some way going to surface and get out there, whatever that is. We don't know what that is at this point.
Correct. But I don't believe that she would not go out and say anything that she cannot prove. She's a very distinguished career. And we've seen that especially with General Flynn on the big stage across the country lately. But she's a very reputable attorney, and I have every faith in her that if she says something, that she can prove it. So we will just have to see what the whole process is and when that comes out. And I think the American people have faith in her as well.
Talk to me about Georgia before we let you go. You're obviously from that state. Look, the Secretary of State, who calls himself a Trump supporter, says he's going to certify the results today. So what do you make of the information coming out of Georgia and what the next step there is? Because Governor Kemp still could potentially get involved down there.
Absolutely. And being a lifelong Georgian, I am really disappointed in our governor and the Secretary of State. Where are they? Why are they not calling for a special session? I know people are down there rallying. They've started earlier this week. I have no words because I am truly disappointed and it hurts my heart very much. So same thing with Kelly Loeffler. She hasn't really been out there supporting the president, and I'm not quite sure why. She said that she was the bigger supporter between her and Doug Collins, yet Kelly's MIA. So I don't really know what to say about it. I think that there is some funny business that's going on. Lynn Wood has, filed several things there. Sidney Powell, again, is involved there. So we're just going to see how it all plays out. I hope that the chatter that we're hearing behind the scenes about Brian Kemp and the Secretary of State is wrong. But if it's wrong, where are they? Why aren't they calling for this special election?
Think there'll be a political price to pay for Governor Kemp, possibly, or the Secretary of State, or for that matter, who knows? Kelly Loeffler, I mean, if she's going to kind of waffle, so to speak, on this, that might be a problem, too.
Exactly. And, these two Senate seats are so important to keep the Senate for Republican hold. And I just don't know, when Kelly is not coming out supporting the constituents of Georgia, I don't know how she expects us to get out and work for her. There's already been a divide between the Collins people and Kelly Loeffler, but everyone who voted for Collins has come on board and said, we want to support Kelly Loeffler because we want a Republican to hold this seat. But she has not embraced us, and she certainly has not been out there seemingly fighting for any Georgian to have every legal vote that was cast counted and every illegal vote that was cast thrown out. And that's just very disappointing.
Kylie Jane Kremer, Executive Director of Women for America First. Great to see you again, and hopefully we'll see you again real soon.
Thank you so much, David. See you soon.
All right, sounds good. Kylie Kremer here on the water cooler. There and here on the water cooler. What do you know? I've never been good at grammar, by the way. When we come back, here's something the media's not very good at: credibility. Back in a moment.